Welcome to another CEO Wisdom Pod with Lejeunekopp. He is founder and CEO at Madik. They build digital foundations, a Webflow website. I have one Webflow website. It's pretty ugly. Might hire Adam to help me with that. It's quite efficient though, because it's quite speedy, and that was the goal, and that's why people should use Webflow. So we're going to talk about that and Adam's background as an entrepreneur today. This pod is presented to you by my podcasting agency. We're almost full right now, but we do podcasting as a service. If you want to scale and monetize a podcast the unconventional way through cold outreach methods, get people to your network, transact with them, add value to them, and have fun while you interview them on a podcast, you can go to podpire.com. Adam, glad to have you on. Can you tell me a bit more about yourself and about Madik?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Charles, for having me on. And your cold email agency is exactly what got me here today. So your work it's working, and you know that because you're doing a couple hundred of these a month. Yeah. So my background as a creative director, I've worked at a couple different startups on the sports side and the tech side, and ultimately about 7 years ago, I launched Matic as a boutique size agency focusing in on strategy and creative as we've evolved over the last couple of years and then going into now 2024. We are hyper focused in on the strategy side, the Webflow website as a anchor technology to build everything off of, and then the ongoing services of content marketing, which usually involves CRM management, web landing pages, and ongoing strategy and content. So that's the building the digital foundations that we talked through, the 1, 2, 3, strategy, Webflow, and content marketing.
Why Webflow? Why did you pick that one and not Webly or all these other companies?
Yeah, for sure. So for the last 20 years, I am not a developer myself, but I've been involved in on the creative side of developing websites. So I was always in WordPress, right? So always, leveraging WordPress as, which WordPress I believe is like about 50% of the internet today, if not more. And it is a great technology, but Webflow got introduced to the world about 10 years ago. It got introduced to me 3 years ago. And I was introduced by one of my developers at the time. And really, what it did is it just kind of cut out a lot of the headache when it came to updates or plugins or the user experience, both on our side on building it, but then also on the client side with the CMS. So I know there are a lot of other good technologies out there that are similar and build off of the same no code premise, but Webflow is just something that's just stuck with us since we got introduced, and we essentially went all in. So we're strictly Webflow. We do a lot of conversion of WordPress to Webflow, but primarily or only we will build and manage Webflow website. So ultimately, to answer your question, it's better experience for us as the builders and better experience for the customer with the CMS.
Who do you target and at what price point?
So we're in a couple different industries. We're in the industrial warehouse logistics space, targeting more enterprise clients looking for B2B management with their website and content marketing. And then we're also go down a path of trades or home services, which is B2B for us, but then of course they are more B2C, both on the commercial and the residential side. And then the third prong of what we do is in and around sports. So my background is in and around sports, and sports is a fun industry to be around. And then that kind of varies between leagues, teams, technology, and so forth. So bit of a three-prong answer on that, but mostly we're a bit industry agnostic because we will work with other industries, but we just stay focused in and around those services that we offer. As far as price point, we're looking for clients that are looking for that 6 to 12 month engagement. And minimum engagement with us is about 5 grand a month and goes up to about 15 or so, depending on the scope of work and of course the services that you're looking for. But really the more less the price point obviously is important, but for us it's about the length of time, right? We're not going to be your quick churn and burn agency. We want to really get to know you, get to understand the challenges you're into, and where we can help impact both your output, but then ultimately your bottom line and your budget.
And I'm guessing 10 to 20 clients a year. So let's call it $1 million turnover on a yearly basis.
For Matic. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're just over that in 23, and then as we go into 24, we're onboarding a couple more people and then looking to get a little bit more aggressive on the sales side and focus on that. But it's definitely, I've got a young family. Our employees have families, and really for us it's more about the quality and connecting with clients that are looking to engage with an agency like ours, and then how we can impact and help them grow and achieve their goals.
Fantastic. Madak, where did the name come from?
Matic actually started back in 2006. I was looking for a little bit of a side hustle as I was working at different agencies. So really what I wanted was a really short name. And I wanted the really short domain. So I was searching and searching and searching and came across Matic, spelled Adam backwards, added K for cop, and then boom, you had Matic. I did a quick Google search and found that it was I can't remember if it was an 18th or 19th century opium from China, but most likely they were not going after that domain or that trademark. So I was able to pick that up, trademark Matic in the digital agency consulting space, and then really, I launched it 2006. Always had it throughout my side hustle, and then really truly launched the agency that it is today in 2016.
Then you have that interiors design agency with your wife. How's that doing?
Yeah, good. My wife, Tessina, is I guess about 4 or 5 years ago, launched her own consulting side of the business, specializing around residential and business interior styling. She calls it. She's not a trained interior designer, but she's more of a styler, a stylist, and she brings that warmth and that experience into your home. So she's doing great, and has a handful of clients that she works with a year, and in addition to the heavy lifting she does with our 3 boys that are 6, 8, and 10.
Wow. So, my mom, she's quite good at interior design and she's retired now. So I had, and my brother and my dad, we had the idea to launch her interior design agency. So, and she's like in her 60s, she's not too tech friendly. What would you recommend I do to get her launching? Because the Facebook ad side of it, I've got it. I've owned various Facebook ads agency and fetching her clients, and I would have that on autopilot for her. But then for her making plans, obviously she wouldn't draw these things, but we need like a visual on what she has in her mind, right? So what software should she use for that, and what recommendations would you have in me helping her to launch her interior design agency?
Well, is she only in person on site, or does she always work, or does she also work with people remotely?
On site, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Same with Tessina. So I would, Instagram really has been the main kind of promotion arm for her. And of course the website has been that, but I don't know if I'd necessarily have like a software in mind because of what she's trying to do. If she's looking to get just a handful of clients, it's really just thinking about what what she's trying to accomplish. Because for Tessina, she's looking to get somebody on for like that 3 to 9 month kind of roadmap because everything takes a little bit longer. Usually they're doing a remodel at the same time, so then that's kind of factors in with the construction side of it. But with your mom, maybe it's just focusing in on what is the niche that she serves, her style, building out that landing page, and then you know that meta ads will get her traffic and then book essentially appointments that she could show up and um, show her style and
Yeah,
everything
our
else.
Pinterest would be huge, right? Like I have this new house here, and whenever we're seeking for design ideas, we go on there. So I guess popping ads there wouldn't be too bad of an idea.
Yep.
On the production side of things, I was thinking of like DALI or Midjourney to prompt it the right way so that the client can see what their room would look like. Have you been using these AI technologies just to tell it, imagine a white room with a designer seat and this beautiful view, like so that it can give us images of the outcome that the interior designer is seeking?
Yeah, I've been, talking through some of those ideas with Tessina, and I think that that would be. I know there's a lot of things that you could do. We have not ventured as much. We've been focusing on just driving leads and basically in-person appointments for them, because essentially her and the client have to get, have a connection in order to then decide if somebody trusts her to facilitate a budget and a vibe in their home. And as I've learned, it's such a special thing. Obviously, it's your house, right? I mean, there's so much that you have to have that kind of friendship connection. So that's really been our focus versus the kind of the leveraging technology like that, what you mentioned.
And those, maybe I'll take it as a side project, and maybe I'll surprise her with a Webflow website. Uh,
Is she in
pick,
Mexico too, or no?
no, no, no. She's in Montreal. Can't well, south of Montreal. It's
Okay.
like a beautiful place in the mountain. We call it Estrie. People also ski there. So the end customer would be people with cash. People that would just see a designer as someone that can help them design their ideal space, a space in which they'll spend a lot of time, and a space that will inspire them. So
One area that we would like to focus is targeting investors that have Airbnbs and helping them take their quote unquote plain Jane Airbnb and take it up a notch with style and design and experience. I think that would be a pretty unique angle. I think the challenge that we're having there is just identifying who those we can identify the actual property, but usually that's bundled in a group of investors and so forth. So that was, I think that's an interesting angle.
it is now sports. You're a rugby player yourself. How have you brought that competitive and cooperative mentality to your business?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, sports, played my whole life in different sports. Football and rugby were up at the top there. And all of that hard work that it takes to, from practice to training to game day, all of that can apply to day-to-day life here in the business. And so for me, and including teamwork and camaraderie and knowing how to work with others, I think all of those attributes that you learn in sports and team sports in particular can contribute to day-to-day life in the business. So that's been a big part of what I guess my chemical makeup, and I know for many others as well. But I've enjoyed, sports as being a key part of my life, and then of course my business and rugby in particular has been a part of that. We're helping rugby grow in the U.S. and with a handful of key rugby clients, and so there's a good amount of growth that's going to come with the sport over the next 10 years. And we're excited that Maddox can be part of that.
Right. Then for your goals list, what do you have on the personal level and on the business side of things? What are your objectives this year?
For goals, yeah, so I'm a big goal setter. I focus in and around five areas of my life: fitness, family, fun, finance, and I'm
Fate.
what's that?
Fate.
Faith. Yes, thank you, sir. Well, and I also did them. I did them in the wrong order. It should be fitness, family, faith, finance, fun, and those five categories. I go out there and set quarterly goals. I got my kids setting goals. And we go in and out of doing really well, and obviously going through different areas of growth in there, and but for me, those are the big things. But to answer your question more directly, fitness is a big goal for me. I've been an athlete my whole life, and the last 5 or 7 years or so, I've kind of gone in and out of being consistent with fitness. And so I really picked it up. I picked up my pace, if you will, and picked up my repetition in 2023, and so that's a big focus in 24 between working out in the mornings, cold plunges, hikes with the family, etc. And then of course finance and growing Matic is always a goal for me.
Parenting. Any tips for me that's about to become a dad in less than 2 years?
You're going to be a dad in less than 2 years? Man, you got it planned out. You know your future. You know, my number one tip, and again, I'm going into my challenges where we're going into the preteen years and there's other challenges, but my biggest thing that I think I tell myself is just to be patient. Be patient with your wife or your significant other, be patient with your kids, and but on the contrary side of all that, set discipline and set boundaries. And my wife's really good at setting boundaries and discipline, and then especially when the kids are young, because then they know kind of where they can operate and have fun in, but then the line stops there because they're still young, they're still trying to figure things out. And then as our kids get a little bit older, like our oldest is now 10, you can now start to have significant conversations with him and guide him, mentor him a little bit more. And it's not about just staying within the lines or the discipline. But so those two, discipline and patience.
What about entrepreneurship and having them start their own little business and start making cash early?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wish I would have done it earlier. I mean, in a way, I did. I had my side hustle going for a little while, but I needed that experience at other companies to be able to give me the confidence to do what I'm doing. So everybody's on their own journey. Everybody does their own thing, and that's what makes everybody unique. And so, but the biggest thing that I think that I keep telling myself and what I hear from others is to do the things that you enjoy. That way, you really want to wake up and it doesn't feel like a job. It just feels like something that you enjoy, and you're building a brand and you're doing all the things that then make you unique, and you'll find the right customers and clients that fit that.
There you go. Where can we find out more about you, Adam?
So I've got under Adam Lejeunekopp on website and social, and then Matic on same. Matic.com would be the number one spot to find us.
There you go. That was Adam Lejeunekopp and Charles Cormier for another CEO Wisdom Podcast.com.